One team, one goal, you know?
Right you are. Doesn't matter, it's recording and streaming. It's fine. So, we're on. It's blurry. We're good to go. Your font is big as shit.
Good. Second read it.
The better to read it. Okay. Alright, so last week we were talking about Warcraft at the end of the thing. We never got to it. They released it. They have a patch already before this shit even came out yet. The other game that I want to mention is Prey. They just announced that was coming back out. The original one was like 2006 or something. But it's pretty much like you're on a spaceship running away from aliens that are trying to kill you.
I remember that game. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, and when I was watching the trailer for it, it looked really good. You can like take the aliens' powers by injecting their eyeballs or something. It's pretty intense. Version.
Is it gonna be like Alien Isolation?
Every time that the guy brought up a different game, he was like, "No, it's kind of like that, but it's not. It's not like that at all."
You know what? Nobody ever wants to say, "Oh yeah, mine's exactly like that."
As soon as anybody said anything about Dead Space, he was like, "Nope, nope, not Dead Space."
You make this guy sound Canadian. I can assure you that this game is not like that.
What the hell is it called? The one where you go to different planets.
No Man's.
Yeah, and I know a guy actually turned it in already, traded it in.
Yeah, I was No Man's Sky. That was like one of the most anticipated games of like many years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they've been working on this game forever. There was an unlimited amount of planets that you could go to, and it would take you 350 years to beat the game. Yeah, that's what they said. It would take you 350 years to experience everything on the game.
As if video game players didn't already have trouble with time management.
Talked about the game like it was most anticipated game of the year, 10 stars. You know, it's gonna be game changing, and then it comes out and it gets like
now you can get it at GameStop for $10.
Yeah, you know, like if there's like
just think about the person that like actually tries to beat the game, and after like year 100 of playing the or year like 30 of playing the game, they're like, this game sucks. Like,
it's like
30 years later, I'm gonna trade this in, sir. It's not worth anything.
Yeah. Anyways. Anyway, you were saying something about the next big thing, and that got me thinking about what they're going to do with the consoles, because there's a lot of talk that this is the last, like, of the generational consoles. You know, like we got the PlayStation and the Xbox, and then the 2 and the 360 generational Xbox and our consoles like that. They think that this is going to be the last. Like once Project Scorpio comes out and whatever Sony's, I can't remember what they're coming out with. I know they're coming out with something, I just can't remember what it's called. But I think when Project Scorpio comes out, it's going to turn into like that whole PC thing where you don't buy a new PC, you buy parts to upgrade the PC. That's what's going to happen, because they're drawing the line thinner and thinner with PC and Xbox, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because they have the whole thing where you can buy a game and you can play it on PC and Xbox. It's just getting thinner and thinner.
What's going to really suck about that, though, is you're never going to see those price drops. Everything's going to stay at that same price as when it comes out, because you're not putting a time frame on it anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas like now you go out and buy a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, it's cheaper than it was the day that it came out. But with stuff like that, it's going to stay the same price the entire time, because there is no end game there. Like it's not like something's going to come next. That's what it is. You just keep. I'm a book guy. I like opening up my game and I like reading through that entire book.
You don't even get instruction manuals anymore.
No, it's like a little, hey, play this, or here's a free month trial of something, and I'd rather get a little back knowledge so that I'm not walking into a game blind, you know.
All right, so handhelds. Let's talk about that. You said there was new stuff coming out. See, I didn't even know that there was new stuff coming out until you said something about it.
The actual console.
They're having just a miniature NES.
The little tiny NES is going to be about that big.
Why?
So,
how much is it going to be?
$60.
That's all right.
$60. The thing that people are now bashing on it is see people got so used to emulators that they want to be able to download like I don't know, little Samson onto this little dinky, and that's not the intent of it. It was now put next to this doesn't belong. Because not a lot of people played Donkey Kong Jr. Everyone played Donkey Kong. A game that should have been on there was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game.
Yes.
That would have been...
That's one of my I play that religiously still. I love that game. Like, it's one of those games, it's a feel-good game.
Yes.
Because it's nostalgic and you can beat it.
It's Mega Man 2, which that is... To me, the Mega Man series really got fun in Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 4.
It was visually appealing too.
Yes.
It really was.
Mega Man was
even just like when you saw like a Mega Man action figure, it was just like even though like generic costume like, but it was just so badass looking, vibrant colors. It was cool, especially in that era where like you weren't getting a whole lot of like real graphics. You know,
the 8-bit era.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of cool...
Mega Man was definitely really appealing.
Yeah, you had Mega Man and then Mario. So yeah, he was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had a plumber and a guy from space.
And last but not least, a sports game, Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I remember Tecmo.
Did you ever see
the Family Guy?
Family Guy.
Touchdown, Bo Jackson.
Oh, just go in already.
I'm going to run down the corner.
He runs all the way back and then back up.
So the games and all that, you're looking at NES right now is running about $50 for the old school NES. And then a lot of these games are $20 to $30 a piece. So if you walk into a Walmart and Target and you're our age and you see this little NES sitting there, you're probably going to buy it.
Yeah, it's definitely got it.
What it's not appealing to is people who like emulators and video game collectors.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, well, I already have all these games. Why do I need it? It's just going to be a shelf unit.
Yeah, the people that don't want to take the time to go look for stuff like that to get the actual hard copies and stuff like that. Plus, I think it's cool. I think you're going to see a lot of adults, like people with kids getting it, trying to get their kids like to be like, oh, this is what we played.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna bring families together because you're not gonna have the headphones on your head playing the PS4 by yourself. You're actually gonna bring it's got actually a lot.
Plus, you can't get grandma to play, a
Call of Duty
first-person shooter. I mean.
Yeah. And it's got that's good that they're doing they're getting away from the old antenna style cables and stuff like that. But they did that with the restaurant, so. I don't really see a big difference with that, but it is HDMI, so you can plug in pretty much anything. Laptop, TV. Sega already did it.
Did
they really?
Mm-hmm. I have it. It was oh my god, it's the shittiest system in the world. But it comes with two wireless remotes to begin with, and you'd have to be like from me to my laptop to use the remote. So you're real close to it, and we actually did it on a video with Retro Game Wars, where we actually played Mortal Kombat on it, and we're trying to get the controllers near the system so it will work.
Come on!
And the worst part about it, like I told Adam, I was like, dude, we have a Genesis here. Why don't we just use the Genesis?
That just tells you how good it was.
Yeah, but from what you're saying,
I have it. I'll bring it over next time. I'm like going through this list of games that I totally forgot about Sonic. Which there's a new Sonic game coming out. Alright, this is probably going to be Sega's last chance at anything since Bayonetta. I mean, you're not going to see a Sega console.
Did you guys ever play Turok?
Yes. Oh, I love Turok.
They just announced that they're going to be remastering Turok 1 and 2 for Xbox One.
Really?
Sucks for me.
Yeah. Sorry, you're getting just like last week. Sorry, Sony.
That sucks for me. You built me up and broke me down real quick there.
You could.
Oh, they're remastering Turok. Really? But you're not going to be able to play it. Sweet. One for Dreamcast, which I love.
I have it.
Oh my god, I love Dreamcast so much.
This is just so before its time.
I know.
Like, if they would have just waited another, 6 months to a year to put the DVD capability in it, they would be relevant today.
Yep.
I guarantee they would. But that's what's, separated them from everything is that PlayStation 2 came out, and you could play DVDs in it.
Yeah. But speaking of the price tag, my mom used to give me money, like $2 or $3 every day for lunch. I didn't eat lunch. I saved my money and I bought my own Dreamcast with that money. Now I'm a fucking gamer, dude. Dreamcast was the first system I watched porn on because it had the internet.
Well, we figured out how America can defeat obesity is they just gotta raise the price on all game consoles so kids stop eating lunch. I think I've had like 4 Dreamcasts.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, I got Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Crazy Taxi. You got 5 crazy minutes. The only thing that sucked about Crazy Taxi is if you were an Offspring fan, you weren't anymore. Like, if you liked Offspring and you played that game for more than an hour, you hated them.
Okay, how do I turn the music off? I can't.
Jesus.
If they had put more tracks on it, it's like the top 4 songs that are popular.
Oh, man. But, no, that was a great console.
Yeah. Sega CD, the 32X. Great games, but you had to buy extra attachments and turn your freaking Genesis into a robot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was poor growing up, so I didn't even know what that shit was.
Yeah. I did enjoy my Game Gear, though. I loved Sega Game Gear. It was fun.
The only thing I'm super excited for is Battlefield 1, because it's going back to the World War stuff.
So they're already coming out with a new system when Xbox One came out just not too long ago?
Well, the Xbox S, yes, but the Xbox S is technically just a sleeker version.
Oh, they're just doing that again. Okay.
Yeah, and it gets like little features.
They
like
come out with a Mack truck and then they push out the little Prius. I gotcha.
Like you can like watch stuff in HD or play games in HD, or like when you watch Netflix, it'll be 4K. You know, stuff like that.
Well, it's not gonna be 4K anymore.
Yeah. Well, this is games. You can't play games in 4K.
Oh, okay.
So probably Netflix still will be. You throw grenades off of horses and shoot, and you can even trample people. You just imagine in the battlefield just riding around trampling people. I don't know when it's coming out though. I have no idea. I didn't look it up. I don't care. I don't want to know because then I'm gonna be waiting.
Just want to know one day. Oh, it's out.
Oh, it's out. Let me get it then. Yeah.
Can't work next week. I'll be riding horses.
Facebook is also throwing their hand in video games. They tried before with Farmville, and you want to say that they weren't successful, but they were successful.
Oh, that came free on my laptop.
They made mad money off that shit, and it was so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, but that's what Facebook is trying to do. They're going to do their own standalone application. I'm sure they'll have games like the Gangster Zombies and Farmville and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be like Call of Duty. I could be wrong, but that's their plan right now.
Facebook might just take over.
Yeah, they got the money.
Here we go. Here's my hope right here that Facebook and Sega just stage the ultimate takeover.
Nobody saw it coming.
Nobody saw it coming.
Hey guys, you played Altered Beast on Facebook?
Don't call it a comeback. You know a game I miss? NHL Hits. I would love for them to bring that back. Remember where you could like make those crazy ass teams of like goblins and literally like just throw people across the ice?
It was
I didn't like Blitz. I didn't like the football one. I didn't like
Blitz.
Streets.
Yeah.
I liked the hockey one because the hockey one still was like, as far as like playing hockey, you were still playing hockey. It wasn't just a battle royale in an arena.
Yeah. That was like Diablo. Did you guys ever play Diablo?
I wanted to.
Like the most recent.
I never got around to it.
Yeah, the most
I
recent
haven't played
one.
the new one. I played the old one.
The most recent one is like that look down style. It's not completely overhead like the original GTA's or anything. It's kind of like at an angle look down style, and you can play with your friends. So there's 4 of you running around these dungeons as different characters. You know, like a mage and the power guy. You know, a warrior, that kind of thing, and you just run around killing shit. And it was awesome. Like me and Chris and like Brandon, and we all played it for I don't even know, like 2 months until we beat it, like 3 times, because you go through once and then you get to keep all your stats and you get to go through again, and it's harder to get better gear.
Yeah,
so we beat this damn game for like 2 months straight. We just played it every day, and it was so simple because all you do is run through and kill shit.
Yeah, I told myself I was gonna get that game, and then I had people like talk me out of it,
so
and
good.
I was like, I still want to play it. I might go now that it's cheaper too. I'm gonna go pick it up.
It's only like $10 now.
Yeah,
it's really good, dude.
And I'm sure there's still people playing it. So.
Yeah, because they just released, well, not just, but recently they released an expansion for it that you can buy as one complete game. But we all bought it when it came out. kept rolling through it.
Yeah.
Well, Turok's coming back. Hopefully they don't fuck that one too.
Well, I won't get to play it, so I won't have the luxury of finding out. Which, if it sucks, I'll be happy, just because I'll be like, haha, that's why I have a PlayStation. Something I want to talk about, just because I think it'd be something fun to incorporate with the whole, like, time relevance of the show, is I figured we could celebrate a couple birthdays. Edward Norton turned 47 today.
Really?
Yeah. Which, he looks good for his age. But not as good as the other birthday that's today, and that's fucking Robert Redford. The man's 80 years old, and he does not look a bit over 60. But yeah, I thought I'd bring up those two birthdays today, just being that they kind of did make their way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kenny Baker died, who was R2-D2.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny Baker, 3'8". That's how tall he was. And he was actually not expected to live through puberty. Because in that time and era, medicine wasn't all that it is today. And he wasn't supposed to make it through that, and he died at 81 years old. So, fuck you, doctors.
Yeah, in your face, dude. That dude went to space.
Yeah. I mean,
did you guys watch the trailer?
I actually watched the Rogue One trailer right before we started the show.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're fresh on it.
Yeah, I'm fresh on it.
I watched it when it came out, and I'm not like super into Star Wars. I watch Star Wars because I think they're good movies, but I'm not like I'm gonna dress up and stand in line to watch it kind of guy. I'll watch it when I watch it, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know that it's supposed to be like them planning to hit the Death Star, right? That's the whole movie.
It's the start of the rebellion.
Yeah.
And basically all this is going on during the first Star Wars movie era, maybe before that, because like in the trailer you see the final touches of the Death Star coming together, and what's really cool about it is that James Earl Jones will be
the voice of Darth Vader.
Will be returning as Darth Vader, which is awesome because it's years later he's back, motherfuckers.
Code into Star Wars.
Yeah. He's just got, and let's not forget Mufasa.
Or Sandlot.
Mufasa.
I did forget all about Mufasa.
Yeah, he was Mufasa too. So, but it's cool they're bringing him back as Darth Vader, and I'm with you on that. Like, I really don't know too much about this story other than I know it's the beginning of the rebellion.
Yeah.
Visually appealing trailer. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna get better and better as it goes.
Oh yeah. And I thought it was pretty cool when they show what are those, the walking.
Oh, I have no idea.
AT-AT?
Yeah, the things that look like the thing in the oil fields, basically. When they hit that with a little RPG, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just to also see an RPG in Star Wars movies. Like that's what, like, the whole trailer, what shocked me was a fucking RPG, because I'm like, whoa, no lasers! You know what I mean? No lasers, lightsabers, which they didn't show those things, but I was like, it's an RPG. Like,
it was the one thing you saw.
Yeah, it was the one thing that
it's probably the one thing everyone else saw when they were there, too. Someone shot at them, like, whoa, man, what the hell was that?
They all freaked out. We're like, oh.
The guy gets out of the AT-AT, he's like, hey, what was that?
While we're on the subject, I guess, of old characters coming back into their roles, October 11th, full-length feature animated movie called Return of the Caped Crusader is coming out. And Adam West will be starring as Batman, Burt Ward as Robin, and Julie Newmar as Catwoman.
They're so old.
They are, and I'll tell you what, so the advertisement for this is fucking hilarious. It is this conveyor belt, and Batman and Robin are tied up on a, like, lunch tray. Like, there's mashed potatoes, like, turkey with, like, butter on it, and, like, corn, and they're, like, in one of the slots for this lunch tray. And, and it's all the old cheesy stuff from the movie. He's like, holy moly, Batman, looks like this will be our last supper. And Batman's line's like, "It looks like we're gonna have to eat dessert first." You know what I mean? Just stupid, cheesy, like the same shit from the original. And then they free themselves, and it's like this dessert, and then they pitch the whole idea for the movie and how everybody's coming back for these roles. And what's awesome about it is it's fucking 50 years later, and they're jumping right back into the role. I mean, everybody else has kind of bailed on, all right, I'll do Batman for a couple of years. Now, Adam West
is
50
Batman.
years, he's been Batman.
Oh, you guys need me still? I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Just call me. I'm ready.
Yeah. And he did say in the trailer that Penguin, Joker, Riddler, Catwoman will be your villains, and he said that he's going to be fighting them on Earth and in space.
All right. That's always a plus.
So, I'm telling you, if you watch the trailer, it is hilarious. It is just the cheesiest, stupidest thing you've ever seen. But it's everything that the original show was, just like years later.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm excited for that. And then Marvel and Hulu have a deal now, because what else isn't Marvel going to dip their hands into anything? I mean, next is Amazon.
Yeah.
And then Facebook maybe.
Facebook
apparently.
video games.
Yeah, that's gonna be all right. So you ready for your next terrible Marvel superhero-based video game? It's gonna be released by Facebook. I can assure you that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Terrible superhero video games. Well, Facebook will probably release it. But yeah, Marvel and Hulu have a deal now, and they're gonna be doing. It's called the Runaways, which is a group of kids that they're the children of villains.
Okay.
And they essentially find out at this like party or whatever that their parents are villains when they sacrifice this girl, and they're like, what the fuck, like our parents are bad people. So inevitably they run away, and they kind of stick together, and it's more of a survival story of these kids, and then they all have their abilities. But they're really they're limited abilities. Gertrude Stein, which by the way, most of the characters are female. I think there's only 2 males in this group of 5 or 7. Gertrude Stein has a mental bond with a velociraptor, which is that's her power. She's all right. Yeah, random as shit. It's kind of like Chris Pratt in the Jurassic World, where you can talk to the raptors. Yeah. She can do that. And then Nico Minoru, she's like a sorceress, but she can only use a spell once. Once she uses it, she can never use it again. So it's kind of like one of the, I guess, the way the writers wanted it to go was they all have to play off of one another, really calculate their moves. Yeah. And it's supposed to be, like I said, more of a survival story than heroes versus villains. There's not going to be a main villain every episode. It's more of these teenagers just trying to survive and
still don't
and right their parents' wrongs.
Don't understand the raptor one.
Obscure ass powers, man.
How does this
work? You gotta, so this series was created in 2003.
Okay.
So at this point, here we are. 75 years of powers being exhausted. We're running thin on ideas. So we got a mental bond with a velociraptor and somebody that can only do a trick once. So basically, it's like an Alzheimer patient and an animal trainer. Do the spell and forget. But yeah, so we got more to see from Marvel. Who knows? It could be great. Could be fucking terrible.
It sounds a lot like the Code Cambria comic, without the random powers.
Yeah. That's what when I was reading a little bit into the Runaways, because I really didn't know too much about it. Last Runaways I knew of was that fucking Dakota Fanning and Kristen Stewart movie about Joan Jett and yeah.
She get naked in that movie?
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart.
I think Dakota does.
She's got naked in 2 movies.
Yeah, probably.
Not great. Anyways.
And that's your review on Kristen Stewart naked.
You're welcome.
Going into my next upsetting thing to say, the whole TV show thing with the superheroes, I was so in support of it until the most recent article that I read. That in 2017, there will be a crossover between Flash and Supergirl that's a fucking musical.
Oh my god.
This was the caption of the article that I read. Yeah. Creators are excited over possible dance sequence.
Oh my god.
In Flash Supergirl crossover. They had something going. They had something good going, and they're just gonna shit on it.
And there's so much more they could have
maybe
used that money on.
I'm hoping that
they're like, oh shit, we shouldn't do this.
Well, and the thing is, the creators, they're excited about this. Like, you read this article and they're like, oh, this is gonna be great. We've been thinking about doing this for years. And I'm like, what? This was your go-to? Like, maybe they pitched the show. We're gonna do a superhero show. The whole thing's gonna be a musical. It's gonna be Glee. Super Glee.
Super Glee. Okay, we like the idea. We'll give you one episode of that.
So, apparently Grant Gustin and the chick that plays Supergirl, are decent singers, and they're like, oh, well, we can pull this off. And all I can think to myself, all right, if Grant Gustin was a proctologist, would you want him to give Zoom a fucking colonoscopy on the show? I mean, just because someone's good at something, it doesn't mean you have to incorporate it into your project. Like,
I'm thinking of the audience they're going after. You're going after the comic book audience, but where does the music tie in with that?
I get the girl idea, but just do a crossover.
Yeah.
Don't do the music.
Yeah, just keep the music out of there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think what they're gonna have to do is after they get done just butchering everything, they should just end it all in a giant battle royale. That's your series finale for all of them. Just kill them all.
DC versus
Marvel
versus
everybody just fight each other, and whoever wins, we'll give you a reboot in 10 years. Now the only way that I could
step
see
up Glee and superheroes.
The only way that I would maybe consider this acceptable is if there's some fucked up villain that just loves musicals, and somehow he can control the world and turn it into a musical, and that's just the episode. Is that like it's an annoying musical,
or like a b-boy?
It's more so meant to like rain terror on people than to be fun.
Like drives them crazy because they can't stop singing and dancing.
Exactly,
like the Pied Piper.
Yeah, that would be. I guess that would be the only way I could accept it.
Yeah.
If it's a form of torture, and I'm praying that because otherwise. What's next? Broadway performances of the Avengers? Maybe in the episode, like while they're singing, Arrow just come in and just put an arrow into everybody that's singing. Oh, last note, just because you'll be excited about this. As far as viewers, Stranger Things has officially topped all Marvel shows on Netflix.
Wow.
It's got, which Daredevil and Orange and the New Black were like teetering for most viewers on Netflix, or most views on Netflix, and Stranger Things just came right up the fucking.
Oh yeah, those kids, they got a career now.
Oh yeah.
They took I saw a little Twitter thing. They took a picture together, kind of like the Goonies. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Really
I'm
cool.
So excited for the things to come. Not to bring that show up again 2 weeks in a row, but
yeah, like, it's hard, man. It's worth it. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my god,
so good.
It's everything
you like
could possibly
stuff?
love of the 80s.
Stuff.
Exactly. It's nothing
here
but
with Crystal
nostalgia.
Pepsi and a surge. You need to watch Penny Dreadful.
Is that any good?
Yeah, it is pretty good. Well, I mean, you're into like sci-fi stuff. It's like the origin stories of like Frankenstein and Dorian Gray.
I was gonna watch that show, and then the reason I didn't was because Tom told me about it.
Oh no, it's good. I told Tom about it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then that makes sense now, because usually I try to stay away from certain things.
Like the first episode or two, like all this, it's slow. I mean, Stranger Things was kind of slow too. First episode. But it's. I know Frankenstein. They do the whole vampire thing, and then is an American who comes to the UK, and he had something.
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. It had something to do with
One
Indians.
of those 90s heartthrobs that somehow found their way back to film. Oh, it's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh yeah.
Because they're supposed to be playing Blunt Man and Chronic.
Yeah, and then
it was Jason Schwartzman and
the guy from American Pie.
Yeah, Jason Schwartzman and Dawson, James Vanderbeek, and they're bitching over who fucked the pie, and Dawson didn't get the girl.
Always goes back to the pie, doesn't it?
Speaking of which, that show is going to be getting a new lead role.
No. I don't even know what's going on right now.
I don't know. I stopped watching after the first time the governor was around.
I think I got through a couple episodes of the first season.
It just drags, man.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for that to be over, and
I'm waiting for it to be over because the Boondocks Saints 3 needs to come out. They have their script for it all written up. It's just they still have Daryl on the fucking show.
Yeah.
Just kill them off already.
That might be a while. Everybody loves Daryl.
Yeah.
That's like you can kill lead characters, main characters, but when it gets to Daryl size,
they're afraid of the fans.
Dangerous.
The fans are just gonna go ballistic and be like, "Oh my god, he's dead."
So much to the point where, like, on the same network now, they have a reality series with Norman Reedus just so people can see more of him.
Oh yeah, the biker one.
Yeah.
Just so
how much do you love Norman Reedus? Tune in to the Norman Reedus channel. Everything Norman Reedus. Yeah, everybody loves that dude. I fucking love him.
Everybody loves that dude.
I didn't even love him from The Walking Dead. I knew him from Boondocks.
Yeah, that's what I knew him from. Was Boondock Saints.
Yeah, as soon as he came into the first scene, you're like, oh hey.
Yeah, it's the guy from Boondock Saints.
Look at you.
He's gonna say that little thing before he kills the zombie.
the prayer.
Yeah, the little prayer.
Where's this crossbow nonsense?
I think it would have been funny if he had Veritas on his trigger finger in The Walking Dead.
I think they should have paid. They should have paid some homage to it. Like, I'm the biggest fan of Easter eggs. I love
like a cut off hand with on the trigger on the finger, just in the middle of the road or something with it on there.
Yeah, just something.
That would be cool.
With a little rosary like wrapped around it or something like
That'd be
that.
badass.
That'd be so badass.
He like accidentally steps on it. Like,
or stares at it intensely, and someone asks him what's wrong, and he's like, reminds me of something from my old life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like something cheesy, but like gets you like, oh yeah,
I know about that. You don't.
But yeah, that'd be pretty fucking cool. Blade Runner sequel, just cast Jared Leto. That's all I got to say. There's some random things to think about.
Yeah, we may want to talk about Blade Runner next week.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to do a sequel to that. I think like that movie was so fucking good and that storyline's so good that like a sequel is gonna be fine.
They could mess it up too. Like
they could.
Tron. They butchered Tron.
Well, that's Disney, man.
Yeah.
Well, who's doing this?
Blade Runner. The director is Dennis
Carter.
Villeneuve. Fuck if I know. But looks like for casting we got Ryan Gosling. Oh Jesus Christ. Alright. Harrison Ford will be playing Rick Deckard like he did in the original. Dave Bautista. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna say this because it's funny. Barkhad Abdi, who was the
Captain Phillip.
Yeah, he was in Captain Phillips. That's fucking awesome that you knew that, man. That's impressive. God, that was like trivia status. Captain Phillips, I got it. I knew it. It was since we've been kind of dabbling. There's been so many reboots and stuff. I think it'd be fun to do the do's and don'ts of reboots and what we think should be happening and what we think shouldn't be happening, and because there's so many reboots that just got announced. It'd be fun to talk about those. Right. See what we're digging and what we're not.
I'll find something else in the retro gaming community.
All right.
Let's just kick it completely old school next week.
I can do so in California, this guy traded in boxes full of night trap.
We're doing this next week.
Okay.
Next week.
Teaser.
Here we are, week 3. Doing okay, I think. It's getting better as we go. If you want to check out the other videos, they're on this side. I imagine the subscribe jams is down here somewhere so that you know whenever we do it, which is on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. If there's something that you want to talk about, it could be anything. Maybe not dildos. But anything else, just let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe so you know what's going on, and share it to your friends. Share it around, get more people involved. Let's talk about some stuff, anything that's going on. But the channel's really about gaming. So, like I said, check out the other videos. They're mostly gaming. A lot of art's been going on.
Shia LaBeouf.
Just do it.
Wow, Amber Heard donated her full $7 million divorce settlement from Johnny Depp. She donated all that shit.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, they're
How do you donate that much money, dude?
They're officially divorced. Yeah, I wouldn't let go.
Oh my god. 7,000 maybe, 70,000 maybe.
Yeah.
7 million.
Maybe,
oh my
maybe
god.
1 million. 1 million's being generous to me. Like I'm like, all right, I just.
She's not even worth that much.